Is self-hypnosis any good? Does it work? And what exactly does it work for? What are its limitations? Can it be harmful? Can you get stuck in self-hypnosis? I'm going to answer all these questions and more in this video and tell you why I think self-hypnosis is great. Welcome to the Anxiety Attic, where I make self-help videos so you can control your anxiety instead of your anxiety controlling you. I first started using self-hypnosis in my 20s and used it through different stages of my life. I also used hypnosis as a counsellor, helping people with anything ranging from public speaking and phobias to anxiety disorders. So to explain why I think self-hypnosis is great, let me tell you some of my experiences of it. My first experience was when I was around 23. I developed a nervous habit, which was a sort of strange throat clearing noise. This went on for around 18 months, and the more I tried to stop doing it, the worse it got. I became very self-conscious about it because I was sure that others could hear it. So I bought a book on self-hypnosis. I read this book from cover to cover, and then I tried out what I had learnt. Using self-hypnosis, I gave myself suggestions that my throat would become so relaxed it would not be able to make this stupid noise. The next morning, I felt the urge in my throat to make the noise, but no sound came out. Within a few days, I didn't even get the urge anymore. A nervous habit that I had tried for 18 months to lose had disappeared overnight. I felt like I'd learnt magic. So my journey with hypnosis began. A few years later, I started a new job as a salesman. In my first week, I had to give a presentation to a really important prospective customer who was visiting from America. Although I had done some public speaking before, I'd never done anything as important or formal as this. I was terrified and worried that I would just freeze in front of the customer and their senior management team. About half hour before the presentation was due, my heart and mind was racing. So I went to the toilet, sat on the toilet lid and did some self-hypnosis. Within 10 minutes, I brought my anxiety right down and felt much calmer and more positive about the presentation. The presentation went great and we won the contract. I continued to use self-hypnosis whenever I had something I was particularly worried about, whether it was presenting or just one of life's difficult situations that come along. These positive experiences led me to train as a hypnotherapist, as I wanted to help others with this seemingly magic art that I had learnt. But self-hypnosis and even hypnotherapy does have its limitations. So what are they? Everyone reacts differently to hypnosis, whether it's self-hypnosis or hypnosis conducted by a hypnotherapist. There is a thing called hypnotic suggestibility. People who are highly suggestible will benefit most, but that's not to say that most people can't gain benefit from self-hypnosis. Self-hypnosis is great for helping you relax, calming you down when you are stressed or worried, and stopping or reducing nervous habits. But when it comes to more severe problems like phobias or anxiety disorders, it needs to be combined with other therapies. Following my training in hypnotherapy, I went on to train in counselling and cognitive behavioural therapy, and here again I found a use for hypnosis. The best way to treat phobias is to gradually expose the client to the thing that they fear, but this can be really hard for them to do. So I would use hypnosis to give them suggestions of relaxation and calmness before they were gradually exposed to the source of their fear. I found it extremely effective. When I treated people for panic attacks, I would take them to the places that they usually avoided because they feared it would trigger a panic attack. This would be very anxiety-provoking, so I would use hypnosis to calm them down. Again, I found it to be very effective, and clients were able to go places and do things that they had avoided for years. Although this was me guiding the hypnosis, the principles for self-hypnosis are more or less the same. Self-hypnosis can be used to reduce physical symptoms of anxiety. Many of the physical symptoms people get are just their sympathetic nervous system releasing stress hormones, which can wreak havoc with the body. Self-hypnosis can be used to engage your parasympathetic nervous system, which calms the sympathetic nervous system down and reduces the physical symptoms. While self-hypnosis can't magically cure an anxiety disorder, it can help, especially if you combine it with CBT. If you're not familiar with CBT, you will find lots of videos on my channel that teach you its tools and principles. So make sure you subscribed and clicked on the notification bell. So is self-hypnosis suitable for everyone? Self-hypnosis is a completely natural state, so it suits most people. The only exception might be people who suffer with a personality disorder or psychosis, and people with attention deficit problems may just struggle to use it. Can you get stuck in self-hypnosis? No, you can open your eyes and stop at any time you want. And although self-hypnosis is best done where you can get some peace and quiet, it really doesn't matter if you get interrupted by a doorbell or your dog. And it doesn't matter if you fall asleep, which, as you get older, can easily happen. Another great thing about self-hypnosis is you can take as little as 5 minutes or as much as 30, so you can fit it in around your schedule. Self-hypnosis is a skill that you develop and get better at the more you practice it. Having practiced it for many years, I can get myself into a state of deep relaxation in less than a minute. So how do you learn self-hypnosis? Well, there's lots of books available which vary in quality, and there are lots of videos on YouTube, but having watched a few of them, I found that they rarely go into sufficient depth. That's why I'm making a new series called Master Self-Hypnosis in 5 Days, which will give you a step-by-step guide on how to perform self-hypnosis. And it will be packed with tips I've learned from my own experience and training. And when it's ready, it will appear here.